So do you think, bro, that you doing this whole acting shit and you coming from like where you come from?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it makes people look at you differently? Because we talk about over there like where you come from and like what niggas expect from niggas and what we consider cool, what we consider whatever.
Yeah, I think like I said, it's been surprising the amount of niggas that I used to fuck with. That's like, bro, like I see you doing your shit. Like that's what's up. Like I see you being yourself, and I know you, but I see what you on, and they've been respectable about it. So. I mean, it's always gonna be a couple niggas that's like, oh, this nigga on some weird shit or he on some fruity shit or whatever the fuck niggas gotta say, which is like, that's fine, that's what I expect, but it's been like a overwhelming amount of, I don't wanna say overwhelming, that's not the same, that's not the right term I'm looking for, but it's been a decent amount of people that I didn't expect that's just like actually like giving me the props for it type shit and just, and let me do me. So I feel like, again, it's like it's all about growth, bro. It's like if I was in the same mindset as I was when I was doing all that bullshit in the projects and whatever, and I was just small-minded in that way, and I hadn't seen what I've seen and known what's out there and experienced that, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. So I feel like it's all about growth, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I want niggas to see that and be like, inspired by it, you know what I'm saying? More than anything, like at least be inspired by it. You don't have to be an actor, but do whatever it is you want to do, but get out there and go see some shit. Even if you work in, it's not, you don't have to feel bad if you work in a 9-to-5 job. That's fine. But if you work in a 9-to-5 job, don't just slave away. Like save your money, go on vacation, go, experience a different way of life and go, do something that makes you happy though. Don't just slave away to whatever it is the company you're working for, your boss, whatever. Don't just do that. Like, do something that's making you happy too. That's fulfilling you. Because you don't want to waste your time here on this earth. You know what I mean? Like I feel like acting is my calling at this point. You know what I mean? And I know I don't got forever here, so I'm gonna live my life in the best way that I can, and I'm gonna be as positive as I can, and I'm gonna be. You know what I mean? In whatever way. Because I was walking around negative for a while. I was walking around negative all the time, looking for problems, moping around, fucking self-loathing all the time. You know what I mean?
You can feel that too, bro. Like even, not that I know you hella extensively or nothing like that, but everybody can feel vibes and energy. Not that you ever gave me a bad vibe or energy. I felt that you was cool with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I was I was out here. I was like, I would be out. Literally, I was literally that dude that would go out and be like, I'm trying to for sure. Like that was on my agenda to get into some bullshit because I was like bored or something, or I just had to get some sort of energy out. Like I just wanted that rush or whatever the fuck it was. And you'll never catch me on that shit no more, ever. I'm all cool with people. Like even if somebody trying to fight me, you know what I mean? Like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take the most for you to get me to that place.
It's good to see that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. And that's how it should be.
Make it like, niggas can do shit. You know what I'm saying? We not just trapped. We don't have to just be one way. We don't have to just give in to the community.
Yes, you have the control. And I'm a big advocate for I'm an advocate for it, even though I don't go to therapy myself, but I'm a big advocate for it. If there's any way possible for you to do it, Black people should go to therapy. Like my homie just told me about this therapy group that I'm about to start chiming in on. It's like, on Zoom or whatever, but it's a lot of Black people just kind of, and it's just like a therapy session, like a check-in and whatever. And I feel like it's not that accessible in our communities, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of the shit, we go through so much trauma that it's almost, trauma is so normalized in our community that it's like
it's in the songs.
No one, exactly, but no one thinks about like going to therapy is never an answer because it's so normalized. It's just like, oh, that happened, like you gotta deal with it, or you just gotta move
sleep
on.
It off.
We all go through, like, oh, our ancestors went through this. So,
sleep it off.
Like nigga, they needed therapy too. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Because obviously generational trauma. They needed therapy, which is why we still need it. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody tries to go get it.
That's what I'm saying.
So
and then nobody thinking about it. Exactly. And then it's like, and it's almost like frowned upon if a nigga go to therapy or something. It's like, nigga, if it's accessible, especially now with all this Zoom shit and all these people that's doing great work, that's like, oh, free therapy session for black people online and all this shit. Like, look into that, because it's like you do need to. You can't hold all that shit in, bro. You can't hold all that shit in. Once I started being more vulnerable and letting that shit out, I just lived a much better, happier life once I put it out there. So, you know what I mean? Especially, and it's like, and don't just go to therapy with some white therapist that ain't gonna fucking understand you. You gotta find the right therapist too. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people would just be like, I ain't gonna go to therapy with some white people. Okay, well, find the right therapist. There's therapists out there for you.
So do you think that for black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
We like you said, we have so much trauma. Do you think that our therapist should be a white person? Or do you think
I think you can find the right therapist. I think it's on you to find the right fit. You know what I mean? It's just like any relationship. You got to find the right fit for your partner, right? Mm-hmm. You got to find the right therapist, because you might meet a white person that does understand you for certain things, you know what I mean? But you might want to set that boundary and be like, okay, as cool as that person is, I do want a black person that at least understands me on that level of being black. I wouldn't say shut out all your options. You know, you might find a good therapist that's Latino. You might find a good therapist that, you know, whatever. But, you know, but if you have to set that boundary, then do that. But there's a therapist out there for you somewhere.
For sure.
Period.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And it's just, it's on you to look into that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know? And like I said, there's tons of online stuff that you could do with people, and you know, and you can start there and then maybe go into actually having a therapist that you go see. But I mean, I like the rooms because you in there with a lot of other people that's like easing their way into therapy, and then so you feel them. So like they telling they shit and you like, damn, like I'm right here with bro. Like we in the same wow. You know what I mean? Then you don't feel like alone too. You know what I mean? And then you don't feel like you, and then it makes it more. Then you feel like you can share because you're like, oh, bro just shared all. He just put all that on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I at least feel like, at least for him, like I could give him something. You know what I mean? So I could be there for him in that way, or him or her or whoever, and or whatever. You know what I mean? It opens the door for that. You feel me? And that's man, that is so important. Mental health in the black community is extremely important. It's extremely important to address those issues.
We're kind of talking.